Yo, what's up guys? Coach Nate with part 3 of 9 obnoxious fitness myths that need to die in 2025. The voice is still struggling. We're going on like 3+ weeks of this. So y'all bear with me. If you can't stand it, just hop over to the website and read the blog. But today we're going to be talking about the last 3 myths. So that's going to be being sweaty, sore, and tired is how you determine if you had a good workout. Number 2 is eating healthy is the key to fat loss. And number 3 is that squats are bad for your knees. So let's dive into each one of these. So a lot of people look to how sweaty, sore, and tired they are from their workouts to determine if it was an effective workout. And that's logical. It makes sense why people think that, but it's not a good measuring stick. And here's why. That is birthed from the fact that most people exercise rather than train. And it's not about like training isn't like more intense and exercise is easier. It's not about how hard you work out. It's about what you're focused on. So with exercise, it's all about today. And this is what most people do. And exercise is very good. I'm not trying to be a jerk here or obnoxious. Exercise is very, very beneficial. And if you enjoy it, keep doing your thing. All right, but exercise is all about like today, having a good workout today. It's very short-sighted. Training is all about the future. It's all about like each workout is like a brick that you're using to build an awesome house. In and of itself, each brick, it doesn't really matter all that much in the grand scheme of things, but it's the combination of the bricks that makes something beautiful. And that's what training is. Training is just exercise with a long-term focus. You have a long-term plan or a long-term goal in mind. So if you're just looking at today, you're exercising, then yes, it makes logical sense that you would be looking to today's feedback to determine if you had a good workout. Are you sweaty, sore, and tired? Because those things happen when you exercise and when you train. All training is exercise, but not all exercise is training. So with exercise, you're going to be sweaty, sore, and tired to varying degrees, but that's normal. That's what people look to determine if they had a good workout. So like if they feel exhausted, they're super sweaty, and they're very sore the next day, hopefully you're not still sweaty the next day, but if you're sweaty and tired after your workout, you're sore the next day. And for some crazy people, they're like, I feel nauseous. They're like, yeah, this is awesome. I had a good workout. The better way to measure is if you want to maximize results or maximize the efficiency of your time, get the biggest bang for your buck for your time in the gym, you should be training. And the way you determine if training is working is by your performance. So really 2 things I look at. Is your performance increasing over time? Are you able to, it depends on what you're training for, but is your performance increasing? Are you getting better? And number 2, do you feel good? Do you still feel good? Is your energy, mood, sleep, mental health, etc., are they solid? As long as you feel good and you're improving, then you can know that your workouts are working. And you don't have to worry so much about how sweaty, sore, and tired you are. Now, those things do happen, getting sweaty, sore, and tired, but here's kind of my general rule of thumb. If you're never sweaty, sore, or tired, like ever after any workout, you're probably not working hard enough. And if you're always just dripping in sweat, some of you guys it do be like that sometimes for some of you guys. So if that's you could go walk outside and you're gonna start dripping sweat. So you gotta know yourself. But if you're super sweaty all the time, you're crazy sore, unbelievable, like you just barely touch the muscles and you're like, I'm lit up, and you're exhausted all the time, you're probably doing way too much. So being sweaty, sore, and tired, those things happen, but that's not how we determine if people have had a good workout. We determine if people have had a good workout if they're improving their performance, which means when people are looking at today, exercise only, they think like the harder I go, the more sweaty, sore, and tired I am, therefore the better my workout was. When in reality, you want to work out enough with training, you want to work out enough to drive progress, but not so much that you wipe yourself out before your next workout, because each brick builds on the next. So you want to provide a good stimulus in today's workout, but it can't be so much. You have to be able to get that stimulus, recover from it, and come back better for your next workout. All right. Next is eating healthy is the key to fat loss. Everybody calm down. because I feel like everybody's gonna be freaking out as soon as I said that. I am not advocating for unhealthy eating. I believe that the vast majority of your diet, and if you can do it, all of your diet should be God made it himself, single ingredient foods. All right, I fully believe that. But it is important to understand that eating healthy is not the only key to fat loss. And in fact, eating healthy it will absolutely contribute to fat loss, and more on that in a second. But just because you're eating healthy doesn't mean that you're gonna lose fat. And while most people eat healthy in their pursuit of fat loss, as they should, and even when you've lost the fat, you should still eat healthy because it's a good idea. People lose fat eating horrible diets all the time. And that's because the true key to fat loss, there's really two. The first, and this is like 80% of it, is your calorie intake. If you want to lose fat, you've got to consume fewer calories than you're burning every day, period. And I don't care I care where your calories come from, but when it comes to fat loss, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. There's lots of details and weeds that we can get into here, but in the grand scheme of things, if your calories are where they need to be, you will lose fat, period. Number two is getting enough protein. So that's like 20%. If your calories and protein are where they need to be, even if you are eating 100% processed foods, like protein shakes and candy bars, 10 out of 10 don't recommend. You're probably gonna die if you do that. But before you die, you're gonna lose fat if your calories and protein are where they need to be. And I say all this to say, I give extreme examples not to advocate for doing something dumb like that. Of course, that's a horrible idea. But it's just to drive home the point and to help you understand why you should be doing what you're doing, what matters, what you should focus on and what you shouldn't. That's the whole point of this myth series, because so many people walk around thinking they're doing everything right and they're not. And they're focusing on rules that are not helping them, and they're not following the rules that actually matter. So as long as your calories and protein are in check, then you're going to lose fat, period. And no matter, you can be eating completely 100% super healthy. Single ingredient food, organic, grown in your backyard, like the best of the best foods. And that's awesome if you can eat like that. But it's possible to eat like that and not lose fat. Why? Because your calories and protein are not where they need to be. All right? I'm gonna read a little excerpt that I have written in the blog. So here's the thing. In the health community, which is near and dear to my heart, you will hear all kinds of claims about hormones, insulin spiking, inflammation, and so much more. And those are very good topics, very important things to discuss. Very, very worthwhile conversations. Okay, but no matter how good these people say it, you cannot buy the lie that there's something other than a calorie deficit that's going to help you lose fat. You can't do it. All right? So, people might say, but Nate, don't my hormones matter? Shouldn't I not eat foods that cause inflammation? Shouldn't I avoid the donuts and eat, steak, rice, and broccoli instead? Yes, you should. I'm not arguing for a junk food diet. You'd be better off not eating junk food ever again, but people lose weight with junk food. And if you're still stuck, despite eating healthy, this section is here to help you. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep reading what I wrote in the blog. Here's where healthy eating comes in, because it does matter, all right? But it contributes. Eating healthy doesn't make you lose fat. Eating healthy can help you better. It makes it easier for you to eat in a way to lose fat. Key distinction. Eating healthy does not equal fat loss. Eating healthy is the best way, it's the best tactic to help get to the calorie deficit and the right amount of protein. So here's where healthy eating comes in. Since the only way to lose fat is with a calorie deficit, eating single ingredient real foods are by far the easiest and most enjoyable way to achieve the calorie deficit, because real foods are often packed with lots of protein and lots of nutrients. So you get full and feel great on fewer calories. This is why, despite lots of people losing weight eating junk food, most people do better eating healthy foods when trying to lose fat. I 10 out of 10 recommend eating real foods. but I'm just making the point that if you're eating really healthy and you're not losing weight, you're eating too many calories. And that's not a judgment statement. That's not me saying, oh, you're eating too many. No, like, I'm not talking about your value as a person. I'm just saying if you want to lose fat and you're eating very healthy and you're not losing fat, you're eating too many calories. That's it. And one issue, a major issue that I see with healthy diets, when people that eat very well, is that in recent years, people have started prioritizing fats again. And I think that's great. I think for the most part, low-fat diets, there are risks with low-fat, especially ultra-low-fat diets. And fat is not inherently fattening. It's all about the calorie deficit. So it's good to see people eating healthy fats. And yes, fats are great. They're super beneficial. But most people that eat very healthy are consuming lots of fat, way more than they need. And they could reduce their fat intake by a good bit, still be eating plenty of fats, still get all the benefits from the fats that they need, and they would start losing weight, start losing fat again. I would say for 80% of people who are in this category of eating very healthy, but they're not losing fat, they consume too much fat. And again, it's not because fat is fattening, it's just, it all comes down to calories, but that's just the macronutrient that I see people consuming too much of when they eat healthy. All right, number 9, squats are bad for your knees. This is just not true, but look here, I'll give you a couple pieces of evidence. Number 1, we've worked with over 1,000 everyday men and women. And what's true is that a lot of everyday men and women have bad knees. And I've heard this literally hundreds of times where people come in and they say, I have bad knees. Many of those people tell me they can't squat. In the vast majority of the instances, there's no like legitimate medical reason why they shouldn't squat. It's just like they've done squats in the past and it's hurt. And I'll start by saying, of course, any exercise, including squats, done with improper form is totally going to get you hurt, period. Which is why it pays to work with an expert trainer to help you, learn how to move properly, how to lift well and use good form. But yeah, like we've worked with over 1,000 everyday men and women. Lots of them have bad knees and they start squatting and their bad knees feel better, they perform better, and they're so glad that they started squatting. And one of the reasons is like, look, if you have an issue with a joint and there's not like major trauma that's like requiring surgery or physical therapy, if you just have like achy, hurting, kind of irritated, inflamed joints, oftentimes one of the best things that you can do is build up strength and muscle around the joint. And strength training is actually great for improving mobility and flexibility. So when you're doing a squat, you're going through a full range of motion squat, and you're holding a weight or you got a barbell on your back, that loaded movement is great for improving flexibility and mobility. So there's like some very practical reasons why squats are actually very good for you. The other thing, here's the deal. If we think about this logically, you squat all the time. You sit down in the toilet and you stand back up. That's a squat. You sit in the chair and stand back up. You sit on the couch and you stand back up. All right, it's all a squat. And then you're walking upstairs. It's like a lunge, which works basically the same muscles. You're constantly squatting in life. So to say you shouldn't squat, it's crazy. It's like saying you shouldn't pull something. It's saying you shouldn't push something. It's a basic human movement. Now you might have to modify. You might have to ease into the movement. That's normal. That's fine. We do that all the time with our clients. But to just straight up say you can't do a certain movement is probably not true. And this is not medical advice. I'm not saying go against, anything your doctor said, but many doctors, I think more and more doctors are recommending strength training, which is really cool. Many doctors are going to give the most conservative instructions, because if they tell you, yeah, you can squat, just make sure you're doing it properly, and then you go squat and you do it wrong. If they encourage you to do squats and then you go squat and you get hurt, they're going to be worried about being sued, and that's probably a legitimate concern. So it makes sense that they would give the most conservative recommendation. All right. The other thing is, this has gotten a lot better over the last 10 to 20 years. Many people in general, including doctors, but many people in general just like don't know how to properly strength train. Now what's cool is, and so they don't understand it, so like they're definitely not gonna recommend it. Now what's really cool is like everybody and their grandma is talking about strength training right now, which is super cool. I love to see it, because 10 years ago it was like pulling teeth to get people to strength train. Now people are looking for it, they're actively searching for it. But what's funny is like there's this disconnect, because a lot of people are looking for and pushing for strength training, but they shy away from what I would call true strength training, right? Like true, legitimate, focus on progressive overload, lifting heavy loads being relative to you. Anyway, I digress, but I'm just here to plant my flag in the ground and to say proper squats are one of the best things that you can do for your knees. Not only are they not bad for your knees, but they're one of the best things that you can do for your knees. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, with my terrible allergy voice, is wrapped up our 3-part series of 9 obnoxious fitness myths that need to die. And just to recap, the 3 from today are that being sweaty, sore, and tired is how you measure if your workout was good or effective. Number 2, eating healthy is the key to fat loss. And number 3, that squats are bad for your knees. Until next time.